Hello everyone, welcome to Chef Salim's Recipes channel. In this video you can watch how to prepare lamb completely boneless. After skinning animals such as lambs, sheep or goats, hang them up completely. You can hang the goat from the fibrous part of its hind legs. If you hang it in a cool place, you can keep it for one night. Do not leave their internal organs inside the animals. After the internal organs have cooled, you can add them to the bag and put them in the refrigerator or freezer. A sharp and thin blade is suitable for scraping meat from bones. Choose a short blade with a pointed tip. First start by dividing the lamb into 4 parts: hind legs, torso, arms and neck. Split it in half. We'll separate from the joints in the spine of the lamb's back by applying a reverse pressure. They left their kidneys inside. I don't use them, anyone can eat them. Separate the sleeves. You can see that the forefoot of the lamb covers a larger area than it appears. Cut off the neck. If you look at the starting point of the back and neck, you can understand where you need to cut. Press it down to separate it at the joint. You can start from the top of the lamb's back. Here are 2 long cartilage tissues, cut them out. Use one side of the blade to rub against the bone. Even if you are very novice, most importantly, constantly feel the bony parts and fleshy parts with your other hand. Where and how is there a bone? Feel it with your hand. And try to understand how the shape of the bone. If there are broken cut bones, you can cut your hand. You should be careful about it. You can scrape the meat from the ribs and ribs this way, as it is prepared completely boneless. It is necessary to scrape the meat between the ribs one by one. There is a piece of meat inside, and don't forget to cut this meat and remove the fatty tissue on the edges. There are 2 pieces of meat in the upper inner part. Remove the small pieces of meat left and right, then that's it. These parts will be used as ground meat, great for roasting meatballs or ground beef when needed. You can keep it in the freezer for 1 year. There are 3 pieces of bone in the lamb arm. Separate the anterior scapula from the articular part. There is an oily gland on the edge of the scapula. You can cut this part with a knife. Separation of the scapula from the flesh. Arm bone and lamb shank. Extract the tail and outer fat from the thigh part. Remove the tail fat boneless. Hind legs are the part with the most meat. Cut from the edge of the outer bones with a knife. There are greasy and unusable parts inside. Cut these parts with a knife and throw them away. If you can find the hip joint bone here, your job will be easier. Cut the fibrous tissue holding the bone with the tip of the knife and continue cutting, identifying the shape of the bones. The bone in the middle here is a bit complex, so it may force you a bit. Remove the pieces of meat left on the bone, and after that it's easy and quite a lot of meat. There are 2 pieces of long leg bones. Most of the meat was separated from the bones, only the neck part remained. When it is completely removed, 15 kilograms of boneless meat will be obtained. Parts such as trachea and esophagus are not used in the lower part of the neck. Also, since the bloody parts of the neck are not clean, I recommend you cut them off. It finds a thick hard texture in the upper part. You can remove the meat after cutting it out. The neck is completely suitable for boiling. It is a little unreasonable to separate it from the bone, but since we said completely boneless in the video, we want you to see how it will turn out. Meat was prepared completely boneless. I think you would like to see what you can do with the bones. In this way, add the meat to transparent bags and tie it, and you can use it frozen for 1 year. Boil the bones and use the water. The bone parts you will use for bone broth are the spine part. Neck bone. There may also be some meat left on this neck bone. Tailbone, scallop, arm and leg bones. Do not use parts such as scapula, ribs, you can throw them away, no need to boil. Boil the bones for 10 minutes and renew the water, then boil the bones for at least 6 hours and use the water. You can make great delicious and healthy meals. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook. If you want to donate, you can specify in the comments. Don't forget to click the like button and turn on the bell notification. See you again in a new video. Stay with love. Goodbye.